The designs in this culture derive from a 40,000-year-old tradition. The artist can be male or female. A painting can be done by one artist or several. And the painters that paint these images are the custodians of these designs. They are the owners, and they have the right to paint these designs. These designs have not been spontaneously dreamed up and created or copied or derived the way Western artists work. These designs are sacred designs. They tell ancestral stories that the painters themselves are connected to. Traditionally, they were done on rocks or trees or human bodies or on the ground in the sand. Later on, they were done on shields and boomerangs and other useful items, objects. And more recently, these very same designs that derive from so long ago have been done on canvas with acrylic paints. This painting comes from a desert community, an art cooperative called Haas Bluff, and this painting was actually done by a female artist named Narputa Nangala. The painting is acrylic paint on canvas. It represents two ancestral figures of the artist's particular ancestors who are traveling through spirit country, through the country, during creation times. These are the hills of their endless journey as they go and create all of the elements in the world. This is a wonderful assemblage of poles from the Tiwi culture that are used in the Pukamani funerary ceremony. And this particular grouping was commissioned especially for this exhibition. And these are traditional Pukamani poles that are used in mortuary ceremonies. They are generally placed out of doors near the gravesite, and they basically tell a very important Tiwi myth history, which is the story of the first death in Tiwi culture. These are some of the earliest works in the exhibition, and they are wooden shields that come from the central desert. Probably they date from the early 20th century. And as you can see, they have really beautiful designs on them of different types. These are sacred designs. They have been handed down generation to generation. They have special meanings, and often it's only the people who are fully initiated into Aboriginal culture who truly understand them. But basically they do have to do with the same ancestral stories in creation times. We are looking at some beautiful boomerangs and shields that date from the early part of the 20th century. They are made of wood, and they have painted patterns on them, which is important to note. These are age-old patterns that were used on historic objects of wood, of stone, of natural materials, using natural pigments and paints and ochres. This is one of the really vivid desert paintings from the Balgo Hills, and we're standing in the desert portion of the exhibition. It's a particularly complex work because it deals with an ancestral journey of two women and their meandering path and the various sites that they stayed at in their long journey. The exhibition as a whole has about 4 major cultural regions, and in designing the show, we worked very carefully to try to clarify these 4 regions and have visitors experience all of the paintings of one region together, so that when you start off in the exhibition, you begin with the desert cultures, which are in the center of the Australian continent, and you walk through several galleries of desert cultures. Then you move into the western part of the continent, the northwest, and you move into the Kimberley. Then you move north up into the Tiwi Islands and Arnhem Land. It's really rather staggering how many different artists are represented in this exhibition. One of the particular challenges with mounting this show was that the paintings are so vivid and vibrant that some of the rooms we needed to rehang several times to get just the right relationship of the paintings. The paintings have very strong styles and colors and patterns, and we spent a great deal of time designing the room and redesigning and rethinking what paintings should go where. And that was one of the things that really surprised me about installing this exhibition. Normally when we do exhibitions, we have all of the planning laid out right in the beginning. You know exactly where things are going to go. But one of the really exciting things about this show was the opportunity to see the paintings work together from a particular area and realize that certain ones would look better if they were moved and adjusted. And so we spent a lot of time just thinking about what would look best and where.
Traditionally, these designs form part of a men's ceremony. Jinwalpri is called Gudji or Kankarlu. Perhaps an English translation might be high school. It's part of the young man's initiation and part of the way that the older people teach the younger people the stories, the jukapa, the dreaming that forms part of their law. The song that the men were singing is called Ngapa, and Ngapa in Walpiri means rain or water, and that specifically relates to one of the designs here in the ground painting.
It's finished, huh?
Yeah.
When the painting is finished, then they do singing, and after that, then
once they have sung the painting, they'll destroy the painting, traditionally.